What's going on, guys? No Job Rob here. Welcome back to the channel. Back by the ocean for one last time this year. Figured it was as good a setting as any for the story that I'd like to share with you guys. Some noisy ass bugs out here. Hopefully that's not too distracting. So I want to talk to you guys about the concept of burning the boats. There's a somewhat famous story in history where Hernando Cortez landed with his fleet from Spain on the shores of Mexico about 2 years prior to him conquering the Aztecs. And he said, "Our mission is to take this land, and it's either that or death." And to solidify that point, what he did after they landed was he burned all of their ships to make it so that victory was their only option. So out of necessity or not, his men actually rallied behind this, and within 2 years' time they had conquered Mexico and the Aztecs were verging on being wiped out. There's evidence that this may have taken place in Greco-Roman times as well, but the point being, it's become a metaphor for going all in on something and a line which when you cross there's no turning back. So being that we like to talk about online business here, I think that's as good an analogy as any, because let's say that you have a goal that you need to achieve, but it's on the other side of a very long, arduous task. Our minds are very self-sabotaging in that when it becomes difficult and uncomfortable, you're going to start to formulate thoughts that are essentially telling you, let's do the easy, comfortable thing. This is better for our survival. So when you're trying to step outside of your comfort zone and you meet that resistance, if you haven't burned the boat, so to speak, then your brain is going to start telling you, just step aboard and let's go back to what's easy, familiar, and comfortable. So this is kind of an important video for me because it's just past 2 years since the last time I worked a job, and it was at that point in time when I received a lesson about what happens when you don't burn the boats. And by the time this happened, it had been a year since I'd previously worked, but I'd only really just begun to learn about entrepreneurship, and I wasn't really sure if it was something that I actually wanted to pursue. And I started dabbling with selling on eBay, and I was getting some alright results, and I knew that I liked it and it would be something that I'd much prefer to do versus working a job. But I was listening to a lot of that short-sighted, comfort-driven, survival-oriented thinking, and what it was telling me was not to go for creating the lifestyle that I know I want, and instead going back to my comfort zone to what I already knew, which was working in a call center. So I ended up spending 6 more months in an office job, and it served as a reminder of what I thought I already knew, which was that it wasn't something that I ever wanted to settle for again. But I was completely miserable. I was working shifts until midnight on weekends, every weekend, and most importantly, I didn't make any progress in my life at all by working there. So it was that summer about 2 years ago when I decided I was going to burn the boats and go all in on trying to achieve financial freedom, trying to have a business that could produce income for me without having to actively devote all of my time to it. So now I definitely have that sense that I've gone too far to turn back, and it hasn't been an easy road at all. I've had those moments where I've wanted to turn back. Recently I almost did something similar again, got another job that I knew I would have hated just for a little while, but if the Spaniards had hedged their bets and they weren't all in on their ultimate goal, then the odds are they wouldn't have been able to overthrow an empire. So as far as the form that this has taken on for me, I've already invested just about my entire life savings, everything that I worked for 10 years, into my own knowledge, into systems with the potential to produce me an income, and into sustaining myself so that I could put all of my focus into this. And I feel that it's come to define who I am. Prior to this, I was a musician. I sacrificed that. I sacrificed a great deal of my social and familial relationships. It's put a great deal of strain on my friendships and family relationships because it's just so at odds with what people want me to do, and the fact that I'm doing something that's so confusing and unfamiliar, it upsets people. Either they're frustrated because they think I'm living a pipe dream and I just don't realize it, or they just don't want to accept a lot of the things that I say about being able to, live that laptop lifestyle, make passive income online, because that would force them to have to confront the fact that they were trading all their time away when maybe they really didn't have to. So in building this brand, this No Job Rob brand, I've been loud and clear about what my goals are and what my expectations are of myself, and if the ship hasn't been burned yet, it's just going to make it that much more uncomfortable to step back aboard. So I thought this story was a helpful lesson for how to approach a goal, especially if there's a specific thing that you're working really hard on. Like I said, it may not pay off for a long time. It took Cortez 2 years, and it's taken me about 2 years, but I'm incorporating this philosophy as sort of a way to help maximize my own odds as much as possible. It's been a long, tedious process of stripping away anything that could hold me back, and it's enabled me to learn and understand something that unfortunately most people never are able to, which is how to create assets and systems that they can leverage in order to design their ideal lifestyle. So armed with the knowledge and the skills that I've acquired, I view the last piece of the equation as just finishing this mastery of myself and making good enough decisions that give me the clarity and the energy and the willpower to execute on it. And within a few months, when I've replaced my salary from my job with online income, I'll be glad that I burned the boats and kept my ultimate goal in front of me. So thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you found that helpful today. This has been No Job Rob. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys very soon on the channel. Thank you for watching, and have a great day, everybody.